Hello everyone, it's Dark Siggy here again. Welcome back for another video. Today we are revisiting SheikVII's Secrets Hunter deck on the Wild Mode ladder. Now, in case you're wondering, the music in the background is from the Hearthstone Book of Heroes, linked specifically to Rexxar, so a very apt theme for our video today. Now, I've already featured this deck before on my channel. I've already featured a video on it, but in this video you'll see my journey to Legend with this deck. Now, in the previous video, I already covered the top tips on what to mulligan for, so I don't want to be too repetitive, so we'll do a quick summary. So, Secret Keeper, usually very good to keep in the mulligan, good to play on turn 1, followed by a Secret on 2, pretty powerful. Explosive Trap, great versus aggro, but then that's stating the obvious, you knew that already. Cloaked Huntress, good with the coin, particularly if you have secrets to follow up. And Spellstones, keep them versus control if you have support. Now, tip number 3 is crossed out, keeping Pressure Plate versus Warlock, because hopefully Warlock will be less of a problem now, given that Stealer of Souls has been banned. So we ignore tip number 3. Extra tips, Pressure Plate, a good keep against Druid, so let's say they play Oaken Summons. Oaken Summons puts a minion on the board, Pressure Plate triggers, it kills the minion. You could kill off Vargoth, which would be a fantastic result. Pressure Plate is also good for combo disruption against mages, so Mizaki, APM, Exodia Mage. Notice the theme here, Pressure Plate's pretty good. And finally, Eaglehorn Bow. Buff that bow up through your secrets, because the damage from a buffed up bow adds up massively, either on your opponent's face or in terms of killing their minions. Okay, let's have a look at 2 games then of this deck in action on the Wild Mode ladder on my journey to Legend. Now, I would like to apologise for the quality of the footage. It is not as good as it usually is. The resolution is a bit off. And the reason for that is I recorded this footage on my iPad. I was sitting down in the evening after work. This was the same evening that Stealer of Souls got nerfed. And I was quite excited to play Hearthstone again on Wild Mode. And so I played SheikVII's deck, and lo and behold, I started moving up the ladder, and I thought, wow, I could actually get Legend with this deck if I keep persevering. And so I started recording the footage. It took me a while to figure out how to record footage on my iPad. I had to Google search it, I had to read up articles on it, and then I realised, oh, there's an inbuilt functionality in iOS allowing you to record footage. So anyway, I recorded the footage, so yes, if the resolution's a bit off, I apologise. I had to record it on the iPad, upload it to the cloud, download it onto my PC, and then put it in my video editing software. So after all of that, and then you export it for upload to YouTube, the standard of it may not be up to what I usually produce, so apologies. But that's not what this video is about. It's not about the absolute quality of the video file itself and the footage. It's about that journey to Legend, and for those of you out there that have been fortunate enough to hit Legend, you'll know that in those last couple of games, there is a feeling of anticipation. There's a feeling of pressure, a feeling of excitement, a sense of hype. That kind of feeling. It's quite a special feeling. Hard to describe, but it's that feeling that I'm hoping you can feel by watching this video. And it was very refreshing, by the way, on this evening, playing the deck, not facing any Warlocks, just facing normal decks, or what I define to be average normal decks. Decks that I can beat, basically. It was very refreshing. And against this aggro hunter, with a hero power that does 3 damage. For us, it's all about, I guess, regaining control of the board. And the Spellstone allows you to do that. Regain control of the board. And then be in a position where we can start pushing damage face. Bear Trap is unfortunate, because now I'll have to use my bow, take 3 additional damage to my face. But with these wolves on board, the opponent is never ever getting control of that board back, right? They're never getting control through minions. That's really unfortunate. Snipe kills it off, but we take 2 damage! And look at our health total, dwindling. We're nearly dead. We are nearly dead. So Wandering Monster will be my pick here, because if they have a weapon, I don't know if their deck runs weapons, but if they have a weapon, at least it'll stop them from hitting our face. And Catrick instead of the hero power, just in case, I don't know, they clear some of the wolves off somehow. And if they use spells to do it, then we summon a minion onto the board, which does 4 damage, right? Which I think could be more valuable than us having hero powered on that previous turn. But they couldn't clear this board, so it was game over. Fantastic. Okay. Final game then for Legend on my iPad. And what was really funny was that on this evening there was no Stealer of Souls Warlock because the card had been banned. Got Legend, feeling quite pleased with myself. And then the next evening I started playing on the Legend ladder, and guess what I faced? I faced Stealer of Souls Warlock again and again and again and again, and I thought, what the hell is going on? The card has been banned. Why am I still facing it? And then, of course, you go on Twitter and you find out that Blizzard did not implement the patch properly on mobile devices. So I think on iOS and Android, Stealer of Souls was still being played in world mode, because they messed the patch up. Small indie company, eh? But on PC, it was banned correctly. So that was really disappointing. It was actually, you know, it was soul destroying. Coming back onto the Legend ladder and then realising that the deck that I disliked the most in Hearthstone, I was now facing again and again and again and again, and I was losing on turn 5 or turn 6 to it. So if I reflect on that experience positively, then I realised that on the evening that I got Legend, so the evening before that, I didn't face any Warlocks at all. So in my pocket meta, on the evening that the patch or the nerf went live, in those first few hours, in my pocket meta, people were not playing Warlock, and perhaps hadn't realised at that point that they could still play Stealer of Souls. And then a few hours later they realised they could on mobile devices. So anyway, I was just lucky to get as far as I did with the deck, and facing a Murloc Shaman, that's a wonderful thing. You love to see Murloc Shaman. Unfortunately here, those poor tiny fins are going to die to explosive trap. You hate to see that. So is this similar to the previous game? In that eventually I'll rely on a Spellstone to help me stabilise on the board. Although at this rate, I don't think I'll get an opportunity to stabilise, because there's no... Oh! I was going to say there's no Spellstone in sight, but there is one. The trouble is we have no secrets to play with it to buff up the spellstone.
Death comes.
Anyway, hopefully the secrets that we have in play here can help us stabilize. Pressure plate, not a great target. Interesting that they are committing these Murlocs to the board before testing for explosive trap. I guess because they saw an explosive trap before. They thought they were safe. I guess. I love Kodo Bane, and look at that animation. Absolutely beautiful. You'll have to excuse the Twitter notifications that are appearing at the top of the screen. Again, having recorded this on my iPad, I had no idea how to stop those from showing up in the recording. I would have thought that the Apple iOS software would have been smarter than this and would have allowed you to have options to not be disturbed by notifications whilst recording. Maybe those options exist and I just wasn't smart enough in terms of discovering them. Anyway.
Come midnight.
This is now a battle for stabilization. Oh look, another notification from a good friend of mine, by the way. Okay. So, board pressure created here. We need to clear as much of this board as we can. We're scared of Murlocs being buffered up. Because if they get enough Murlocs buffed up on the board, we just die. Our health total is low enough as it is. However, I would assume that Murloc Shaman doesn't run burst spells from hand, like lightning bolts, for example, or lava bursts. So we should be safe from that kind of damage. I think the only damage we're worried about is the damage that a buffed up board of Murlocs can do. And at this point, I was thinking to myself, if I lose this game, I deserve to lose. Because we killed two tiny fins with explosive traps, so if you ever want a reason to lose a game, or to deserve to lose a game, that would be it. Oh goodness, we are now a totem deck! Except we have no totems. And you're sort of feeling quite anxious at this point. You know, you can feel that you're so close to winning, and you have to count up the damage, count it up again in your head, count it up a third time, and you realise it's not lethal, and you're sad. And then you also think, well, how much of this damage can I throw face, as opposed to trading? But then you think, oh, you don't want anything to go wrong. So I do a lot of trading. And we leave up this one lone Murloc. Surely we cannot die from this position. And if they can't kill us this turn, then they are definitely dead next turn. So it's all good. You watch these cards get played one by one by the opponent and you think, gosh, what could they play that could make a difference? When it's your final game for Legend, it's quite a nerve-wracking process to watch. And there we go. That's it. That is Legend with Secrets Hunter. Beautiful. Right then, SheikVII's Secrets Hunter deck. Ladies and gentlemen, what a glorious deck. I would honestly recommend this deck to any of you out there that like the Hunter class. I think Secrets Hunter is very much underestimated on the Wild Mode ladder, and it is certainly capable of getting Legend, as you saw in this video, and because it's so underestimated and underplayed, you have the element of surprise, which I really think can help you win games. So if you're feeling brave, give the deck a try. If you have questions on how to play the deck, you should really contact SheikVIII on Twitter. He is a super helpful dude, really nice, and he offers really good advice as well. Okay, so if you've got questions, leave them in the comment section below or contact SheikVIII on Twitter. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed my journey to Legend, and I will see you all again very soon for more Wild Mode fun. But until then, please stay safe, please look after yourselves, and as always, please be good to one another.